President Trump has told supporters that his administration's achievements amounted to a revolution of common sense as he celebrated his first 100 days in office. Speaking in Michigan, Mr. Trump insisted his tariff policies were a success, declaring to the crowd, "You ain't seen nothing yet." However, his approval ratings at 100 days are at the lowest level for any president for nearly 70 years. Donald Trump also attacked the legacy of his predecessor, Joe Biden, while claiming no other president had achieved more during their first few months in office. That is something we will be fact-checking in just a moment. But first, let's have a listen to Mr. Trump.
We're here tonight in the heartland of our nation to celebrate the most successful first 100 days of any administration in the history of our country, and that's according to many, many people.
So that statement clearly is a matter of opinion. Mr. Trump went on to make a number of other very specific claims regarding his achievements in office, ranging from inflation to immigration. BBC Verify's Jake Horton has been fact-checking Trump's 100-day speech. A lot of you have been reading his article on the BBC News website. Jake, let's start firstly with the price of petrol, which was something that was mentioned by Mr. Trump.
So tackling inflation was a key issue in the campaign, and it's a key issue for the administration in their first 100 days. And specifically on the price of gasoline in the US, so petrol, President Trump said this last night.
So gasoline prices are down by a lot. We just hit $1.98 in a lot of states. Think of it.
So both of those things are not accurate. So the price of gasoline from the day that Trump entered office to this week has actually ticked up slightly, according to the American Automobile Association, which tracks this sort of thing. On the 20th of January, the day that Trump entered office, the average gas price, regular gas price in the US was $3.13, around about that. And this week it stands at $3.16. So not up massively, ticked up slightly, but certainly not way down, as Trump said in that clip. And he also made a very specific claim about gas prices in certain states. And he said they're down to $1.98 in a lot of states. And the same association which tracks gas prices across the US also breaks it down state by state. And there's no evidence that any state has an average gas price that low. The lowest state is Mississippi. In Mississippi, the average gas price at the moment this week is $2.67. So a fair bit off that $1.98 that Trump quoted in his rally last night.
What about immigration?
On immigration, obviously another major campaign issue and an issue for the administration. And on his record on immigration in his first 3 months in office, President Trump said this last night.
We've set all-time records for the lowest number of illegal border crossings ever recorded. Think of that, ever recorded.
Is that true?
Now, that is backed up by US Border Patrol statistics. So last month in March, as well as in February, the first 2 full months Trump was in office, immigration numbers have reached record lows. We have a graphic we can show you of that. That's actually a graphic to do with DOGE, but we do have an immigration chart which shows the level of immigration in March, the amount of encounters crossing the US border. Hit 7,000, just over 7,000 migrants crossed the US border and were encountered by Border Patrol. So that is the lowest on record since monthly records began in 2000. Compared to the Biden administration, for context, the monthly totals in March last year were around 140,000, so a significant drop. Trump said it was the lowest ever. Migration policy think tanks which track these sort of things say that it certainly is the lowest since records began on monthly data. They do say if you look back to the 1960s, the average monthly totals were lower, but it certainly is a significant drop in recent times that Trump administration has overseen.
You mentioned there, Jake, DOGE, the Department of Government Efficiency, very controversial and the connection to Elon Musk, of course. Let's have a listen to what President Trump had to say about that.
They've saved $150 billion on waste, fraud, and abuse. DOGE.
$150 billion of savings.
So this is the government initiative by Elon Musk, which aims to dramatically cut US government spending. On the campaign trail, Musk initially said it would cut $2 trillion from the US federal government budget. He later revised this down to $1 trillion. And DOGE's website at the moment said they've cut so far about $160 billion from the federal government budget. Now, that is around about the ballpark that President Trump quoted in his clip there. But it's important to say that a lot of these savings, according to BBC Verify's analysis, are not actually backed up by any solid evidence. So as you can see in this graphic, out of that $160 billion total, which is on Doge's website, only about $60 billion of that are broken down by individual savings, and only about half of that total has a receipt attached as proof. So they say $160 billion, but it's very hard to independently verify that without any solid proof for a lot of those claimed savings.